Hello and welcome back to Starmade. My name is Rabenschild and I'm playing on the Squadron server. So, you saw me work on this on my video with Nathan and on Nathan's video. And I'm still working on this contraption. I'm trying out other ways to dock the container to a station or to a ship. And I talked to Lenscap about that. Lenscap gave me one of his containers after we made some changes on his containers, because we are trying to standardize containers now. And Lenscap and we at least could figure out a size of the containers and how to position you can see that here, the rail dockers, but his containers are still a bit different from mine, and we might have to talk about that in the future, how we really want to structurize the containers. There could be differences because of the placement of the core. I'm not sure if that's the reason for problems I'm having, but we will see. Maybe we will even try that out. So Lenscap's containers are, at least at the moment, a lot cooler than my containers with his logo on the side, his skull logo. I'm trying to go a bit more like a container, but his look very, very cool, and his are also formidable ships, I have to say. They are fast like hell. Mine just have the core and the structure around them at the moment. I will not put energy in there, maybe just to accommodate a storage system if a storage system needs energy. So I wanted to talk about this today again, because I'm really working on this. Don't know, it got me, and now I'm trying to work this whole thing out. At the moment you can see the ship I'm using is still very much of a prototype. I'm not working on something that is beautiful at the moment. I want to get the function right. So I changed some stuff from the last time. I told Nathan that I'm using, and you can see that here, that I'm using a contraption on the station to pull the containers in. That changed. I'm trying to do that all with the ship now. That, in my opinion, is a bit more convenient. And I changed the layout here. We will talk about that in a second. Yeah, this is, in my opinion, a bit more convenient, because then you only have to make a few changes to the station. You don't have to dock stuff to it. You don't have to do all this crazy stuff. You only need to kind of add a place to dock, so a rail. You need to add 2 buttons, and two rails, 2 buttons. That's all you need at the moment. I will go over there and show that in a second. So the ships would have to be very specific. Again, we are trying to really do we are really trying to do standardizing here, Lenscap and we really talked about that for nearly 3 hours, how we could do that, and we want to work more on cargo, kind of. We will make that as a project for us, pushing cargo from stations to ships, and maybe other ways to move cargo around the galaxy. We will have to see how we come up with that. I tried to talk to him a second ago. He's on the server, but he might be still working or something. He's able to play, but then he's not able to talk and all that stuff. So we have to do that in the evening hours normally. One thing I might want to change is I might want to put a rail here too. That could be working out. At the moment I'm working on this back part here. I want to have a way how I can push a container yeah, on the small side, kind of. So I am to fly. How can I say that? Fly a container kind of towards the ship and then dock it to a rail that's fit in there. We will have to see how that works out. And we might have competition when it comes to when it comes to cargo systems. We will have to see. We will try to really bring the idea to the others and then see if they are with us in container transport and how we can standardize that for the whole server here. So the contraption here changed a bit. Before I had 2 rails, one for delivery, one for accepting cargo, and right now I have only 1 rail where the ship can dock to, and then this contraption basically, when there is a container, it kind of undocks the container from the station or the ship or whatsoever, and then the ship can pick that up. When there's no container, nothing happens, and you can push the container onto the docking port or the rail here. We will do that in a second. So here, this is the container, or this is the arm for pushing a container onto the side of a station or onto the side of a ship. And this is when I want to lower down. There's the rail. When I want to lower down a container. Again, these buttons, I'm using 2 buttons here because there's trouble with the buttons. I need a button or an activator to loosen up the container here, kind of, so that it gets activated and then the container gets disconnected from the rail. And if I use just 1 button or 1 activator and connect that to the rail down there, what does it do? It changes the rail, and that's not what we want. We want that there's a bit of space between them, so that this button activates this button activates the rail. There might be an easier solution. I don't care for the moment. One thing I figured out myself, one easy thing I figured out myself today, because I'm using ship remotes to fire these beams here. I want them to be as straight as possible, and if I use the normal weapon trigger, I will say trigger here. So when I just pull when I just open the gun menu, put the weapon down in my hotbar and push that, it tries to fire at the point I'm looking at. And that's not what we need here. We need precise control, so we need beams that go straight down, straight up, straight to front, and all this stuff. And we can only do that with in a ship remote. I needed this contraption for that. All the people will be hating on me again, because maybe I could do that all easier. We could test that. Let me see. I have an activator module and in a ship remote are basically the same. So I have this connected to the relay at the moment. So when I activate the inner ship remote, it activates the relay. The relay activates the button to turn this off again, because the inner ship remote kind of stays on, and I want it to be off because otherwise I would have to press the button 2 times always, and I want to be able to just press it 1 time. So you can see that here when I activate that, it turns that off. We could try if it just works that way. That would make my life a bit easier. That doesn't work. Maybe with more relay delay, but I think we will just go back to this version here. So pressing it, and then it deactivates the inner ship remote again. It makes sense when we are in the ship. So I damaged the container a bit. but that's not a big problem. Okay, so let me go in here and I will show you what I have here at the moment. I can show you the problem that I have here. Pushing the container here, it kind of is not aligned right, and then I don't know what to really do about that. So at the first, this is no data. I will have to rename that in a second. This button releases the container. You can see that down there. Now there's an arrow, and when I use the other inner ship remotes, 6 is pulling the container from the back of the ship, and 7 is pushing it from the back. That's what we want here, because the docking arrangement is kind of straight ahead. So I want to push the container, and this time it seemed to just, no, it didn't work. See, I have a bit of a problem with that it sometimes doesn't do what I want from it. So I can't really say. So I'm undocking the container. I have to wait a few seconds so it can dock again. And then I'm trying to push that into the docking menu. Now it could have worked. No. That's weird. Now it doesn't work. A second ago it worked. I don't know what's up with that, but we will see in a sec. I will try that again. It could have worked now. I'm not sure. Now it worked. See, it is a bit finicky here. I don't know why. By the way, you can see that the containers are basically in direct contact when I'm docked to it. That makes pushing it onto the thing a bit easier, because you can see here, for example, if I go to Lenscap's container, I can dock to this, and then the container is automatically removed from the rail, and then I just need to pull that in, and that should have done the trick. So now I should be able to fly away with the container, and when I come back, I can just dock to it. I should be able to just dock to it. Normally it is. So then I wait a bit, I unlock the container, and when the few seconds are, you have to wait a few seconds so that the automatic docking system there kind of is able to grab that again. So here you can see it. With this method, it is relatively easy. The other method sometimes borks. I don't know why. It could be, don't know, differences in the axes that the blocks are not aligned right or something like that. I can't tell you. So, and the next problem is with this method when you want to pick up the container. Now the container is free, and I can just wait a bit and then pull that back onto my ship, and now it should be attached to the ship. See, it works, but with this method it is not completely reliable. Maybe some of you have ideas for that. I am kind of out of ideas. I haven't tried to have a bit of space in between this year. That could also be a thing I need to try. For the containers here, when I'm just pushing straight down on them, it works better. I have the feeling to have the containers in direct contact with the rail on the bottom. At the moment, and it could in the future, it could be different. So we might have to make at one point a version 2 of this whole thing with maybe a bit of a distance between them, because as far as I know, they want to establish a way, or Shine wants to establish a way where the rail has a bit of a radius around it, where above it where the container can, or the rail docker can kind of get in contact with it. So the magnetic docking at the moment works by direct contact, so you have to push the surfaces into each other and then it works. And in the future, it might be possible that they change that so that there can be a bit of distance between them. And then we might have to change that just to not confuse the whole docking situation here. But that should be an easy fix, maybe by just moving the rail in and out a bit or something like that, and this maybe a bit up, however you want to have that. So let me try to re-dock that thing, and then I want to make a change to the ship here and see if that works too. So put a rail here and have that connected with the undocking process here. This, by the way, is we can rename that maybe. This is undock. That is basically the first button on my hotbar. So let me get into here and we fly towards it. We dock that ship and then we undock the container. Wait a bit. This is always a bit of time that I have to wait between them. And then this by the way, this is kind of good that it makes this jerky move to the side. That shows me that it should have docked to the station. For some reason, when I'm pushing from the back of the ship, the container gets spun around a bit. I don't know why. I can't tell you why. So there is no difference here. I have set up push beams and pull beams down here, and there's no difference in them. So there's not that one of the beams is, you can see here, the beams are pushing kind of straight ahead, no problem. So I'm not sure why that's the case. It could be the positioning of the ship core. I'm not sure. And I never tested that with the containers from Lenscap. I will have to do that in the future too. By the way, if you want to see Lenscap's progress on this whole thing, then go to his channel. He has amazing videos about that too. He's also making ways, and I'm not good at this. Lenscap is also trying to make ways to sort the containers on stations. So having a storage system for them. I'm at the moment not interested in that. I want to just dock the containers to my station. Maybe later I want to make a whole storage system to store them somewhere and they run on rails to different places. I'm not sure yet. We will have to see how that works out in the future. So this is docked to the ship at the moment, I would say. Oh, I should just stay in here and leave build mode. So we will undock this. Oh no, it's free. It's free. It's on the... Is it on the... Oh, okay. I already docked it to the station. I talked about that a second ago. My old brain is giving me trouble. So, one thing I changed in the meantime is I changed storage a bit here on my station. I relocated my personal storage from the ship to the station here. That is a bit more practical because here I can come out of the ship or whatsoever I'm using to fly to the shop, and then I can go to this storage and put the stuff I bought in there, and I don't have to go into the ship, and there's in the front here, there's somewhere a build block. I have to fly through the ship, go to the to my personal storage, deliver my goods to there, and then I can use them from the personal storage, and I can immediately take all the stuff I'm building here into account and can use that. Oh yeah, the factory setup. I will go there in a second and just show you what I did there. You can see that here. Let me just show you this. Am I still in? Yeah. So again, just to show that to you, these are the beams I'm having here. The downwards I don't need to show you. And you saw that the beams, kind of the inner ship remotes, all turn off, basically. Let me try something. I want to put, where was it? Somewhere here. I want to put a rail on here, just so that where's my personal cargo? I might have to relog. Could that be the case? The server still has some issues sometimes with where it doesn't work correctly. You can see that there is storage. So why is it not showing me my personal storage? Give me a sec. So here is all the storage I have. Use this as personal. Use this as personal storage. It is in there, so I don't know what's happening right now. Let me grab the rail from here, and then I can just fly over there again and build with it. I will have to relog after the episode. So, just when I'm here, I've set up my factories here to produce all the armor types, just in gray at the moment. Colors will come in later. I have these buttons here to turn off the production of wedges and the corners and all that stuff, because they use up the normal blocks, and I want to have normal block production at one point, so I don't want to have that run always. The normal blocks are produced in here and then stored in my personal storage. That doesn't work at the moment. Starmade. Making problems since I don't know. Good, let me attach that, and then I just want to see if that's easier to handle for all the if that makes it easier to redock the container and all that stuff. I'm not sure if that's the case, but at least I want to test it. So the containers, again, they are standardized. They have rail dockers in specific locations, and mine and Lenscap's containers are that way at the moment. So let us see what happens here. I want to just pull that thing. It should have docked. It did. Very nice. So this still works. One thing I need to do is I need to mark this and then mark this, just so it undocks the container together. So it doesn't matter where the container connects, it just undocks, and then I can wait a minute or a second and push that onto. It did the jerk. It did the move. Yes, nice, very good. So this is my container system. I hope you like that. You will see more of that in the future. Again, Lenscap and I want to do work on that together, and we definitely will do episodes together to work more on that. Another project I have to do is I will have to set up a warp gate so that Lenscap and I can easily work together. At the moment, we have to fly for ages. And we have to go through the sun to get to his sector, and I don't want to go there ever again. I damaged my miner while doing that. Good people, I hope you liked the episode, and I hope you liked what I have built here. If you did, then please leave a like, leave a comment if you have any ideas for that, and maybe have some comments on, don't know, this all. Maybe you have some better ideas, or not better ideas, but maybe you have some additional ideas for that. And yeah, good. Thanks for watching. I hope to see you in the next video. See ya, guys.